Greetings, community.
We are 1, 2.
Comic Talk, and we are pleased to have another session of Artist Alley. And with us today is Christy Shen.
And we are pleased to.
Oh, and their loop. And we have Mr. I didn't catch your last name, sir. Introduce
Tilton.
yourself to the community.
I'm Tony Tilton. I'm a friend of Christie's. I helped do a little bit of the new book.
A little bit, okay.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like we're doing, but basically what it was, it just kind of snowballed from the last Kickstarter, because I had one called the Freedom Tour, and that's where I funded She Sucks, the book you have. So the new book, Alcoholics and Anonymouses, he just randomly was sending me shit every Friday. Like he said, oh, I made this cocktail about it, and it was disgusting. So he came up with like the worst names for them. And he literally took time to do, one of them is called Mucus Plug or something. And he froze some cubes of what was that shit that you froze? It was like a creamy sort of liquor or something.
Yeah, it was limoncello, with the cream limoncello.
Yeah.
Mix that with lemon juice and water so it can freeze. If you get the alcohol content low enough, you can freeze booze. So as you pour it into the drink, when it starts melting, it turns yellow, so it looks like someone pissed in your drink.
Nice.
So this is not
Now these the ingredients, the whole recipe, all this is going to be included in your new book. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think there's up to 5 or 6 drinks in the book so far. I mean, they have Egg Lady Wedding Cake Cocktail. And that's based off a really disgusting wedding cake that I saw. It was called, I pulled it off of Ugly Food of Instagram. And I tried messaging the people like, hey, I want to use it, but they never got back to me. So I just said, okay, well, I credit them anyway. But I said, yeah, look at this wedding cake. And it's this nasty fucking blue. It looked like somebody threw Sprite in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was liquidy.
Yeah. They use fondant and they use cake pearls. And then they just threw a bunch of water. Oh, hey, Comic Crazy, what's up? So, yeah, but yeah, we're going to hit a sushi place because Kuda is doing a grand opening. And we're going to eat the shit out of some sushi in a minute because I always like Kuda. If you ever eat at Kuda is awesome because it is cheap sushi. So it won't break your bank, but it's good sushi.
Oh.
I have a friend that's a Japanese native. She's like, oh, that place is good, Now, if you hear them say that, it's it's good. So,
yeah, you can go broke really easy trying to have a sushi diet even just once a week. You know what I mean? It can kill you.
Yeah, it's called Kura. They used to be called Kula, but now they're being called Kuda, and you actually get a point system now where you can actually accumulate points to get some free sushi and stuff.
That helps. A reward program always helps on everything. Help offset that cost.
Yeah. So so Tony's the mixologist, and even when
I was going to ask that. That was the next thing I was going to ask. How did you come up with these concoctions? You can't just off the top of your head decide you're going to try to do this. You have to have some experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a professional bartender, but I know a few. I learned from them, and I have a huge whiskey and booze collection.
Interesting.
So every Friday night I try to make something new or come up with something on my own or try to perfect something. It's just fun. It's a good hobby. I could never do it professionally. I punch too many people in the face.
Well, handling drunk people, I don't think that's good. I also put up his Instagram. So if you guys want to follow him, he's got he fucking knows his shit. And talk to them about Cream of Kentucky.
So it's a brand of bourbon called Cream of Kentucky. Branched. Some guy left. Forgot the distillery, but started his own.
I think it's JR. I think JR.
Yeah. So this guy's really well known, and there was a lot of hype on called Cream of Kentucky. The first release was 11.5. That's the age statement. They have a 12.3 now, and it goes on and on. So a lot of hype. retails for about $150 a bottle. But, you
Wow.
know, the guy's well known. I was just like, all right, I will give this a shot. You know, a lot of hype behind it.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Opened it, poured it, got a bottle, and I was just like, this is like a $50 bottle at best. And it's like it's $100 overpriced. And I'm just like, what a disappointment. And ever since then, everybody's like, oh yeah, how's the cream of Kentucky? And I'm just like, stop. I just don't, yeah.
Oh, Comic Crazy's asking, what's your oldest whiskey, man?
My oldest whiskey, let's say I used to have a Macallan 30 year, but I ended up selling that privately.
Oh.
The one I have now, I have like a couple of 26-year scotches.
And that's what I was gonna say is usually when you're heading over 20 to around 25 is when you really start getting expensive, right?
Yeah, even now they have stuff with no age statement that they're charging ridiculous amounts for.
Really?
Yeah, it's getting to, eventually they'll price themselves out of the market and people won't want it anymore. And then, you know, it goes in cycles. I mean, for a while, no one wanted bourbon or whiskey in the 80s. It was all about gin and vodka.
Right.
That's made its resurgence, but at some point the quality won't be there and people will, you know, go back and buy vodka and gin again. I mean,
Now I'm curious, you know, how did the integration of story and cocktails make its way into this? I mean, I'm wondering how this blend happened.
I don't know. You know, it's weird because like with Demon Bitch, she's like uniquely like her own trash fire. So the more
Right.
shit you throw on top of it, like I think because it's so shitty, it's like you don't really care what goes into it. So like recently I put up a reward saying I'll Photoshop your fucking ex with Demon Bitch out of there. I just put it there called fuck your ex reward or something. And I know it's this late in game. We only got 5 days left. I've only got 5 days left in my campaign, but I just went, well, fuck
Right.
it, you know, and that would have been regarded as a desperation move, but I'm really not desperate because like I'm funded. I'm like at 119% funded, but still
Yeah.
I just want to go for the gold. Like I just want to go for as high as I want to go. I have my own personal goals. But how it happened, it was just like, I don't know, Tony, why the fuck did you do it? Anyway, like
someone said she looks like a cum stain, Demon Bitch.
Right.
Like if you ever had like a Ramos Gin Fizz, that's where you mix gin, lime juice, and heavy whipping cream, and you shake the hell out of it, yeah. And then you add club soda to it after it's in the glass.
Oh my God.
You get this foamy white head on it, which kind of looks like semen. So I was like, I need to modify this to make it look like Demon Bitch. So she has a picture of her where I used like bitters, colored bitters to make a face for Demon Bitch on the top of the glass. And then it snowballed from there to all these different
Gotcha.
ingredients.
Wow.
oh
do
yeah,
you-
it was
do you
really
sell-
bad.
Do you have interest in comics or graphic literature or anything of the nature?
For me?
Yeah.
No, I have no artistic talent whatsoever.
Well, I'm not. I mean, but do you? I mean, do you read? Do you?
Yeah, I'm a huge comic book nerd.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah. I have stuff from the 80s I used to collect. I still have.
Nice.
Marvel, DC, Dark Horse. I mean, yeah, I have
That's
I have
awesome.
I have it in storage. I don't read them like I used to. Now everything's digital, so I mean, I kind of miss the paper, the feel of the paper. But
There are options nowadays, but that doesn't mean that you have to necessarily exercise those options in ways that don't have a taste for you. There, all these shops are still around. As a matter of fact, there's a shop opening up today that I believe that David Pepos is going to be at. There's a new shop opening in Westminster today.
Oh.
So what I'm getting at, and Mike Wellman, he just opened up a shop, Atomic Basement.
yeah, Christy showed me that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
These shops are still around, and it seems to me that these shops are, for my own opinion and from what my personal experiences are, they're a little more welcoming than I remember as a kid. They'll bring you in. A lot of times these places, which they'd never had before, they have places to sit down because of gamers, doing these role
Card games
playing.
became a thing.
So you can take these books over to a table, and just tell them you're inspecting them just to make sure that the quality of the product is there before you purchase it. That's just your way of being able to say, do I want this or not?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's still cool stories out there, especially nowadays with so many independents. So
Yeah.
you never know. What I'm getting at is the community reaches out to you on your Instagram, and then you start befriending them, and they befriend you. You may find yourself right back in.
Yeah, I'm started to. What was the Kickstarter? Was it Derek for Homeless Homeboy?
Oh yeah, Homeless Homeboy. So
Yeah.
what it was is that our friend Derek Jefferson, I should forward you his shit when I
Yeah.
get a chance. He does this character called Homeless Homeboy, and he was going on about like how Homeless Homeboy, like he like just through a set of very unfortunate circumstances, he ends up like it's kind of like the working poor. Like you're a student, you try to like make ends meet, and then just through a bunch of fucked circumstances, he finds himself homeless. So he said, okay, so they discover he's the one. So they go to this elder, I think, and I hope I'm doing it justice. They go to this elder, and this elder has him put on a suit. So now he's Homeless Homeboy.
Yeah.
And he fights crime. And it's actually kind of cool. I have to like sit down and, reread it through again. And then he was even saying me, because I came up with this character called Hobo Hitler. That's a totally other story.
Wow.
Yeah, it was funny. But so what ended up happening is that Derek was like, dude, I need to have Homeless Homeboy and Hobo Hitler fight.
Oh, that'd be okay. I'm on.
Yeah.
This is something I want to see.
Well, do you want to tell the story behind that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Christy is at the Hive from time to time, and I decided to go hang out with her. Then we decided to go walk to grab dinner. In downtown LA, there's quite a few homeless out on the street, but they generally leave you alone. So as we're walking to the restaurant, this kind of taller homeless man came up and was like, "Hey, do you guys speak English?" And we look at, we just ignored him, like we just walked. Like, what type of comment is that? And as I'm walking by, he says something, and he goes, "Oh, you guys must be Jews." And I'm like, "What?" Look at Christy. I go, "Did you hear that?" She's like, "What?" It's like, what?
Crazy. Yeah, I have to admit the things that we come across here in LA are quite diverse.
Yeah.
I need to get for story time, man. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, people you can it to me this is one of the reasons why here in LA and Hollywood and stuff we have the stories that we can tell and we publish. It's only because we're able to live it. You can't actually script it without living it first sometimes. You're just like, oh, I got to write this down.
It's like this ever since I moved to LA. Like people say, I don't know how you write Demon Bitch. It's so weird how you write it. I said, I didn't write half this shit. Like half this shit actually happened in front of me.
Right. It's just documented.
This person exactly said that. Like one girl said, we call her stick figure, but it's like, she goes like this, like, you know how much cuter I'd be if I had more money? You don't even know. I'm like, you actually fucking said that. So people who say like the weirdest shit in front of you, it's like, you have to document it. You have to just say.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Totally agree.
Oh man, it's
It's
so
wild.
crazy. Yeah. Like what's the craziest shit that you've been through, man, that you've heard?
In my experiences being that I work out of LA and stuff like that, I have stories that I can tell forever. It's just that I chalk them up to, I guess, life experiences. Not nowadays, before they were just like, I can't believe that just happened. But now it's a matter of, all right, I'm just going to log that into this file and this will go into that file. You know what I mean? Whereas a person coming from another state or something that does not have the stuff that we do, because this is how I explain it to people. I go, look, if you have a single rat or a pair of rat or 3 rats in a particular area, they're gonna live in a particular, how should I say,
like space, right?
Right, and but they're gonna live in a harmonious way. Things don't get really gnarly until all of a sudden you start throwing, a few 100,000 rats into a small little area that you start getting interesting shit happening.
Yeah, like prison.
So that's what we have here. Is you got over 17.5 million people in LA County.
Yeah.
That rivals countries.
Yeah. I think like when I last saw it, this is a few years back, like the state of California, I mean, I'm sure it's changed, but we have the population of Iraq right now. Iraq, like 50 million people at the time that I was reading it. It was like, this was like over 10 years ago. So, I mean, I'm sure it's increased since, but yeah, I'm like, Jesus. So that put that into perspective. Like we have the population of Iraq like 10 years ago. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
It does make you think. So that, you know, and so in that, you know, your question is, you know, some of the stuff I've seen, I've seen things that I can't unsee. And I've seen things that it has made definitely a better me just by looking at being able to look at things is a life lesson. You know what I mean? Not looking at it and just being shocked by what I'm seeing, all that, but going, okay, I'm going to take that and I'm going to try to learn from that. No matter how fucked up what I just saw is, like, damn. You know, but everything from I've seen people give shirts off their own back, shoes off their own feet, you know, to walking up and seeing dead bodies going, I thought you were just sleeping.
Oh.
I kind of had a similar experience. I was with one of my buddies like a few years back, and we were walking by the bus stop, right, in downtown Chinatown. And there was a guy, like he was obviously homeless, like lying there. He had the dreads and stuff, and he was just lying there like this. And he kind of just looked so slack in a way that I thought he was dead. Like he wasn't moving. There were flies buzzing around him. And he had, like, weird like discharge down his leg. I'm like, oh God. And like we literally stood there for a minute like, should we call the cops? Like, is this dude dead or something? And then he kind of moved a little. I said, okay, I guess he's all right. So we kind of moved on. But it was just really crazy just looking at that shit. It was just like, damn, you know? But yeah, I mean, just LA, it's kind of beautiful in its own kind of weird, messed up way, I would say. I would say, yeah.
Another line I use to a lot of people when they ask, you know, how can you live where you live? And I said, you know, there's a high price of hell to pay for heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, where else in the world really can you go? I can only think of really one place, New Zealand, that you can go.
Oh, he's been there.
And almost any direction, an hour away from, you know, and less from where I live, but you can find a whole nother geography, topography, microclimate. So I have in one day, I woke up in the morning and I went surfing. After I went surfing, I went skateboarding. After I went skateboarding, I hit the mountains and I went down the mountains snowboarding. After I was done with that, we went right from there and we right over to the Palladium and watched Primus, No Doubt, and Fishbone play. Now, the point of all that is you can do all these events in a day.
Yeah.
You know, there's few places on this planet that you can do that in a day. You know, and like I said, New Zealand's one of those places you could surf, snow. You know, there's entertainment, there's, you know, desert, there's all that at our beckoning call.
Yeah, you know what's even weirder is like also too in California, like just the amount of I don't know, just like mental stimulation you could do. It's not just because it's a city, but like food as well. Like fucking Alhambra, Monterey Park, San Gabriel. That's like the mecca of Chinese food and Asian food right there. It's like, let's just go there. You know, want to hit it there. It's like, oh, but why don't we go to Chinatown? It's like, Chinatown's tourist, honey. We're going over there. You know, right. That's all we all go. And then there's K-Town. There's different types or flavors of like different types of cuisines. And I kind of like LA because of the food. I'm more of a very big food person.
Okay.
And just like having cool places to go and eat and drink and everything. And it's just, and the art here is awesome, you know.
And you know, especially like with food, drink, art. I mean, you go down to Laguna Beach, then you get slammed with it all. You know, you get there's so much there. You can walk down the street and go, oh my God, look at this art gallery. And then you just go another block away and you're like, oh my God, look at all these restaurants. You go another block away and you're right at the sand, you know, and it's just, yeah, it's pretty awesome. You know, and like, you know, it also, especially if you're looking for a muse, if you're an artist and you're looking for muse, you know, that's one of the best places to go is down in Long Beach. You know, it's so inspiring.
Yeah. Like there's this, actually I was thinking about it earlier, then I kind of lost my train of thought, but, I was talking to two dudes. I was doing I think it was like Sierra Nova Comics. I did a podcast with them yesterday. and they're both on the
Oh,
East Coast. And they say, yeah, I'm negative this, I'm negative that. I said, yeah, it's kind of cold over here. Let me see. And it was 72. And like, it's like, but I'm like, there you go. But it's like, but the thing is, my family, like, we were in Chicago for like a few years after I was born. And then we moved to California because even my parents are from Korea. And Korea can get really cold. They're even going, fuck this. And they moved. So they got in at a sweet spot in time where it probably wasn't as hard to get into California as now. Now it's like crazy, impossible in a way. So, but yeah, so, but no, I just really like it. I don't think I could ever move out of California or live outside of California because I'm just too into the food culture here. I'm too into the culture here. Like I could never leave. And I'm not saying that other cities aren't great, but they're not home,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don Walker was trying to jump in, and the StreamYard won't let him cruise in for like 24 hours, like a rain check or something.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
the same link, right?
I sent him the link, and he's trying to been signing on. So I asked him to jump in the chat, you know what I mean, and see what he can do. But yeah, he's been trying to get in.
Let me go and see if I can send him that link. Maybe. Let's see here. Yeah, and then we had Scott Burnham, who was actually going to do White Savior. Now, as a background, this is not what it sounds like. I'm going to plug his book, and I also gave Tony a copy of the book too, as a joke. But what it is, it's about
one of my favorite stories I've read this week.
Oh man, it's funny as fuck, isn't it?
It's great. Within the first 5 panels, I was in. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm all in on this. This is me. This is my kind of shit. How it starts off with as a stereotypical folklore tale, and how it ends within, again, that first 5 or 6 panels. I was fucking laughing hard. I was cracking up. So I'm like, okay, this is me. I'm in. I'm already chomping on the bit for issue 2.
Yeah, I mean, Scott was just asking me, do you know anybody who'd be interested in looking at it? I said, I'll fucking put it out to people, man. I think Wellman might get a kick out of it. First he'd be like, oh, White Savior, what? And I'm like, nah, dude, it's okay. He's Jewish. Just like,
I think I really didn't look at it that way. Right when I heard the title, I instantly went to kind of a almost pre-Renaissance era of thinking, in a sense of England, Europe, some type of,
oh, the colonialism, imperialism type era.
Right, some type of Christian knight or something. That's instantly what I went to.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, maybe it's this. And then when it went to a parody of like of how Asians first would call I guess Europeans, or maybe a little later than that, with the maybe post World War I with white devils.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay, it's instead of white devil, it's white savior. I get it. Yeah, the chosen one. Okay, I'm in. And then what ends up happening within, again, that first 5 panels, when I'm witnessing what I'm seeing, I'm like, wait, there's no way you can live through the. Okay, he didn't. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Like I sent it to Dylan. Dylan's like, oh my God. He hasn't gotten back to me yet about it, but he was just like, oh man, I'm stoked reading this. But yeah, it's like Scott's a good writer. First he was concerned. He's like, I don't know. I mean, like saying white savior and stuff and everything. I said, oh, that's okay, dude. Just tell him that you're Jewish. You're laughing.
Again, I think it's an easy thing to get over once the story is even allowed to start to tell itself.
Yeah.
Because the idea of all that goes away, like I said, within that first few panels. You know what I mean? That whole idea is dispelled. Everything's gone. So you're now immersed in the story as opposed to hung up on a title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you on that. Unfortunately, Scott wasn't able to be with us today due to scheduling conflicts, but I did try to connect you two, so hopefully you guys connect and arrange a time so we can all sit down. And because Scott is not the artist, Scott is the writer, but I think it's worth it to have him at least during Artist Alley because it is creative. I mean, and it's
that's
kind
the
of
idea is artists, creators. I don't care, even you're Tony, you're a creator in your own right. You've been able to creatively introduce recipes to something, and that's a whole creative field that I know of has never been introduced, and it's novel. So yeah, that's what this whole show's about.
That's cool.
This is cool.
Yeah, and it's like it's like this, like that kind of stem. Like, so I had all these recipes. I'm like, fuck, I should make this into another book. And I remember one of my favorite books, like Water for Chocolate by Laura Esquivel. Now, if people remember that book, it was big in the 90s, if that dates me, is that you read it, and it's a story about a family in Mexico, like one of the homesteading families in Mexico, like around probably about the 20s and 30s, I'm guessing. And then it talks about like their family and everything and what they go through. And each chapter is like, this is the recipe indicative of this chapter in this story. Like, okay, roses with quails and things like that. Like, I guess like the daughter can't marry her boyfriend, so her boyfriend marries her sister to be closer to her. And he gives her some roses, and that upsets the sister and everything. So she has to, her mom was like, well, you had to take care of them or else your sister's going to be pissed, even though the mom's a fucking bitch. But anyway, she was the one that started that whole thing. It's like, no, because the girl that is in love with the guy, she's the youngest daughter, and the youngest daughter has to take care of the mother until she dies. I'm like, that's some fucking bullshit. I never heard of that. But anyway, so what ends up happening is that so she makes this dish out of rose petals and quail, and it's like this weird mystical thing, because then like the older sister eats it and she gets really horny and burns down like the shower outside or something. It's like really crazy, but it's a great book. It's a good book. So I went with that. And I said, that's wonderful. And I made it terrible with Demon Bitch and like her recipes. So these were so I have these obviously terrible cocktails. I know this because when we did the victory drinks over with Lawrence, with the last Kickstarter, we, Tony made them and we drank them all.
Live streamed it and everything.
Yeah, we drank it all.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was just like, I will say that the Demon Bitch cocktail tasted like pickle juice to me. And then it just like, some of my friends were like really tripped out because as they drank it, they're like, her face doesn't go away. So it like could slowly deflate and sink lower and lower. And like there were some that we couldn't, like I had like a kind of a guy's party and a girl's party. It just worked out that way due to scheduling. It wasn't like I did it intentionally, but I was disappointed that other girls just could not finish it. And I was just drinking the shit out of it right there. So it was really funny. So we were drinking it. We powered through. We had a Home Depot bucket just in case if we needed to throw up. That didn't happen. And so we were drinking that. I mean, he did like one that you can set on fire, the horse face cocktail. Yeah. And it's just so sickeningly sweet. It's like, take a girl drink times 1,000. It's like literally sugar will make your teeth itch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like we drank that. And you have to be careful because if you set it on fire, you kind of have to let it burn off and cool down a little bit because there's a marshmallow soaked in booze. But you have to let it cool down or else it will burn your lips. So we drank through all of them.
Yeah.
You know what? Don's here, and Don, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link right in the chat.
Okay.
And see if you can sign on, man.
Yeah,
that might work.
He might have an issue like with cookies or something or pop-ups. I don't know why, but sometimes that happens. Or he might need to refresh his browser.
I never have an issue with cookies. I can eat cookies anytime.
Yeah, but it's,
no, I know what you mean.
But no. It's like I like making chocolate chip cookies. Like I'm so picky about them, I'll make my own.
Oh, are you really?
Oh yeah, I'll make them from scratch. I like just made him like an Italian sponge cake.
Oh damn.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We went after dinner last night. We went to a place where we all met up, because my wife and I, we had dinner at one place. My mother-in-law and my son had a dinner in another place, and my daughter and her boyfriend had a dinner in another place. But we decided to meet at a place for dessert. They had a cookie this big, chocolate chip cookie. It was about that thick. And I was looking at that, so I asked, how much for the cookie? $25. Nah, I'm good. I just had a meal.
Like Mrs. Fields, you know how they did the birthday cookies, like really huge?
Yeah.
Like I thought that was great. Yeah, like I would eat chocolate chip cookies a lot. And I'm like, I actually do like Mrs. Fields. Like I'm very picky, but like Kirkland or Mrs. Fields I'll eat because it's like they just have the right amount. Like I fucking hate Famous Amos and that shit where they taste like chalk. So I got one once for my birthday and we started eating it. And then after a while, and I wanted to throw up like after the first slice, which was weird. It was like that rich. What's up, Don? He says, like, what's up, Christy? Demon bitch for life. Yeah. Also, Don's got a pin up in there too, with demon bitch in her stretch marks. It's really disgusting.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, she's holding a dildo or something. I don't know what it is. I think demon bitch gives people like an excuse to be bad, quote unquote. Like they just like want to do all the weird shit ever.
Hey, check this out.
Like an excuse to be bad, quote unquote. Like they just like want to do all the weird shit ever.
Walker.
Hey, check.
Look at 5 figure shit out.
Yeah. What's up?
That's
It's just
awesome.
Joe
No, man, we're
Walker,
still,
man.
again,
I'm here.
we're only a half hour into it. You got plenty of time. We knew we'd figure out
What's up,
eventually.
Christy?
What's up, Don? This is Tony. Tony, Don,
Hello,
Tony.
Don.
Yeah. He was the mixologist for the recipes in the book.
Yes. Finally.
So what?
Yeah, Kai just took off, but he says hi, and it's nice to see you, Don. It's nice to get you on here. Now, for the community that has never seen you before, can you introduce yourself and tell the community how they can find you, what you do, all that?
Cool. So my name's Don Walker, and I am a writer, artist out here in California. I am the creator, writer, artist of Agent Wild and Reaper Core. I have no books in front of me, unfortunately, but I'm on Instagram, Don_Dork Empire Inc. You can find me there. And my
Oh,
art.
Don, if you have the picture of Demon Bitch the pinup, you should show them to people.
Do I have that picture handy?
I'm just thinking of an idea. Like,
Go, Doug. Go, Doug. Hold on, my dog's behind me. I'm trying to find it. Real quick.
all right.
Cool. Yeah, it's nice to have Don on here. Now, Don has been doing projects for a while. You can find him on Instagram, and his work is great. And he's part of the whole Sketchy Bugs thing that's also now working over at the Atomic Basement, and I think they call themselves the Underdwellers. I think that's what they're calling themselves.
Yeah.
Or the
Basement Dwellers, I think they call it.
Yeah, I think that's what they're calling it, or the
Yeah.
lab creators, or I can't remember.
It's fairly new, so names are all over the place right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get Mike on here so he can clarify some of that for us.
I put your Instagram up, dude.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, at some point we definitely got to get Mike Wellman in here, and
Definitely.
he'll be able to clarify everything,
Thank
and
you.
he'll be able to properly introduce himself and tell exactly what's going on. But getting back to you, Don. So, what have you been working on lately?
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
Is that better? You guys hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, I had to add some reverb going on my end. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
What have you been working on lately?
Right now, I'm working on the Agent Wild Union Fall issue 1. Oh, hold on, my dog is tripping outside. I'm sorry, real quick. Real back.
It's all good. Yeah, I know Don has been working on a project for a while, and I'm hoping that it gets out pretty soon. I'm uncertain if he actually was looking for doing a Kickstarter or not. I thought he was.
Don or Mike?
I thought Don was too.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that for Don. I guess he'll confirm with us in a minute.
And I might be confusing the Dons. It might be him, it might be Don Nguyen.
I think Don Nguyen was talking about that. Yeah. I think he mentioned that.
Yeah,
like,
well, you know what? They look so much alike.
yeah, right? They both got glasses and, they're kind of thick dudes and shit. Yeah, totally. They look alike.
My last Uber driver. Like,
Yeah, his last Uber driver
That's an
looks like
inside
Don
joke
Nguyen.
for us.
All right, I am back.
I like your
Oh.
Jedi name, Don.
What's that?
I like your Jedi name.
What's my Jedi name?
Doe Walkerin.
What the hell?
Love your Jedi name.
I don't know how I did that wrong. All right, cool. Well, we're all with that today. How that?
All right, yeah, Doe Walkerin. Hey, you should use that as your pseudonym, but
It's like a scramble game, you know. You just kind of scrabble the words around and make what
Right.
you want.
That's why I keep using my laptop, which I never use.
So again, what was the name of the book that you're working on? So the community has an understanding and know. And are you
Oh, there you go.
there? It is.
Agent
And are you
Wild.
running a
This is
Kickstarter for
the
this?
#1 issue cover right here at the print. That's my girl. So I'm doing a 5-issue miniseries for her, following the issue 0 that I put out a couple years ago. And yeah, we're kickstarting that. It's a little late, unfortunately, but that's what I'm up to right now.
well, I think you're not in the bad cusp. I mean, it's before tax season, but I think if you do it around tax season, like after when people get it, you're good. You know, but it depends
Yeah.
on the timing. But I think you're okay right now.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, let me know. Hit me up, and I'll help. I'll throw you out to my bevy of fans. If they're not so, they probably will love Agent Wild because it's actually a good book, and mine is a pile of shit. So that's good.
That's an awesome pile of shit, though.
Oh
We
yeah,
all love piles of shit, right?
it's like you just keep throwing shit on it, and it burns even higher. It's like great. You know, that's what I love. It's just like fuck the world.
So that you have to say fuck the world sometimes, right?
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what Tony did with his drinks.
Well, it sounds like you drink enough of that, you won't even know that you're in the world. You know, it sounds like they're pretty
True.
hardcore.
We got pretty drunk, didn't we? Yeah, we got drunk. Yeah, Lawrence is a bigger guy, so he could take more of it. With me, I just like had to sleep. I was like, oh fuck.
You both were faded.
Yeah, we got really fucked. Well, also, we not only did we drink the cocktails, but we drank all the other
Yeah.
fucking
So hey
shit.
Don, on your project right now, when
Oh, there's a buffering issue. I didn't hear that last question.
I think he's gonna ask about the Kickstarter in a minute.
there we are.
Okay.
Okay. The Kickstarter, that's over. So I'm actually late on the book. Unfortunately, I'm one of those guys who routinely puts books out late. I have other creators adding content to the book, and they're lagging behind. So until they're done, I can't go to print. But other than that, you know, my part's done. So I'm waiting around as a publisher for other folks to, you know, finish some work. So
Right.
fingers crossed that soon, so I can get this bad boy to the printer.
Now, like me and like probably most people in the chat, we don't know the storyline of this that you're working on. So could you explain that to us?
Sure. So Agent Wild is an alien who hunts other aliens. So technically, she's Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Men in Black.
Okay.
There's a secret
And that's the
population
whole
of
goal?
aliens. Well, that's the basis of it. There's a secret population of aliens on the planet Earth, and there is a Federation-style organization called the Union of Species, and they are on Earth. And Agent Wild polices the aliens on Earth, among other characters. They're more than just her, but she's what I focus on for this book.
Okay. So you have the ability to world build by doing this, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, so with Dork Empire Inc., which is my imprint, I have Agent Wild, which is a modern day book. Then I have another book called Reaper Corps, which is a future-based book. They are in the same universe. So modern day Agent Wild, future Reaper Corps. So as I do more books in the modern day, you will see how Agent Wild's adventures create the future that is Reaper Corps. So it's a long game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how it is all linking up. That's a great idea.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So
Yeah,
is
I'm
it
liking
like
this.
any descendants of Agent Wild, or is it like just a totally new like group of people?
So a totally new group of people. So in Reaper Corps, it's the year 2308. Mankind is resettling Earth after a devastating war with an alien race called the Zartori. Now, the new Earth is comprised of the remaining 300 million humans, which were whittled down from 14 billion by this alien race, cloned humans who were created as essentially war fodder, and then a race of sentient cyborgs, which now kind of protect mankind or what's left of it. So, really, the alien presence on Earth is what gets us in trouble later. Like the Age of Wild Union Fall miniseries will set up a lot of things that happen in the future. So it's a 5-issue book, and once you read all of that, Reaper Corps becomes more clear as a thing. Like the aliens that are present here will eventually get us to the stars, where we'll meet other races, and we'll meet the Zartori in the future, and they won't like us very much and kick our ass. That's a short of it.
Right.
So
No, I
the
mean,
focus-
even the short of it sounds pretty deep. I mean, there's a lot there. That's a lot to unpack.
Oh yeah. It's gonna take a while for me to get there, but it's gonna be a fun ride though. That's the plan anyway.
well, at least you have like
Yeah.
point A and point B kind of whittled out, you know.
Yeah, so point A, point Z are there. Now it's time to fill it all in. And I have other books that will help do that. I'm working on another book, a one-shot called Diamond Savage, and that's going to be in the future. A sister book. That's going to be like a cyberpunk Western vibe type of book that will go with Reaper Corps. That hopefully will be out end of this year. So, doing a little bit of everything.
Cool.
Actually,
No,
I'm doing
I mean,
that book for Mice Creator Lab, actually.
Oh,
Atomic
there
Basement.
you go. Yeah, I think that's the new Atomic Basement like Crater Lab thing.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea is if you go to the Creator Lab at the Atomic Basement on Wednesdays from 7 to 10, you have time to just work on projects. And
So
they're going...
for you in the community, I may not know if I can interrupt really
Sure.
quick. The Atomic Basement is a comic shop located in Long Beach, California. It's basically operated, and a proprietor is Mike Wellman. And he has always developed, how should I say, a structure in which that it invited creators, artists to come in, and he's always encouraged, because he himself is one, to develop these things at his place. So that's what we're all referring to is when we make reference to Atomic Basement and the Creator Lab, we're talking about this type of structure and this thing going on. So please continue, Don. I'm sorry to interrupt, but just to clarify.
I put the Atomic Basement address up too.
Cool.
Oh,
so
perfect.
with the lab, what Mike's doing, Mike has always been, like I said, has always been a proponent for independent creators. And so you go to his lab, create comics, and by August 1st, you can submit a completed comic to Mike. He has a board of judges who will score your comic on various attributes from 1 to 10. The winner will get his book published by Mike under the Atomic Basement logo, because he does self-publish his own books, and you'll get a free table at Long Beach Comic-Con in September. So
that's an incentive and a half for people
Thank you,
to not
yes.
only, you know what I mean, for people not only to, because we give ourselves excuses now, and I'm speaking for a broad case. I'm not speaking on my behalf, but that, you know, oh, I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough material, or there's no incentive for me to do this beyond just my own reason of doing it, because people feel that beyond them, no one will care. But this is a way to, I should say, initiate something to then learn that, wow, people do care about this stuff. People do want to read this stuff or do appreciate my art. So like what you're saying, this is a great reason to go ahead and if nothing else, an excuse to possibly look into the development of something that you've been curious about doing, and then submit it to someone like Mike, because, you know, what do you have to lose?
Exactly. You'll get professional coverage from Mike and his crew of judges. At the very least, you'll get good feedback on your book to help improve your next book. But Mike Wellman has always put his money where his mouth is. He will support you if you do it. He will support you, and you just sign it at a store. The guy is awesome. Like, I can't help. I've known the guy for 19 years. Every shop he's been at's been awesome. His new shop's awesome. So
I think while he was at the Comic Bug, it got propelled to like the top 100 comic stores in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah. He was top 10 in Los Angeles alone.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then now I'm pretty sure he'll skyrocket the Atomic Basement anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So he's awesome. And Mike was the guy who came up with the Black Comic Creator Day, which we're doing next week. That was always Mike's idea.
I saw that. I really like that. Yeah. That's a cool thing.
Exactly. So I mean, I can't say enough glowing word about Mike, but good dude.
Well, what's really cool is what we've seen is, I mean, we could play 6 degrees really easy and only go 2 or 3 degrees. And what I mean by that is we can drop names like Frank Gogol, David Pepos, Juan Gedeon, Ryan Cady. I mean, how far do I have to keep going? I mean, yourself too, Don. Sable, Christie. I mean, this, like I said, this list goes on. I'm only just scratching the small surface of what Mike has encouraged, assisted possibly at times in development of, or, you know what I mean? Because if nothing else, I guess you can almost, if we want to start using neat little words like, it was almost like a uteral development in some cases for some people, because I know, speaking on behalf of Paula, Mark's wife, she was sometimes looking for another place outside of her own home, or for the sake that she didn't have room in her home to start being able to do some of the work that she wanted to. So when she went over to the Bug, that was her place to not only say, wow, I not only have the ability to now have a place and amuse in some cases, but now I could also inspire other people, such as in what she was doing with that whole the smaller kids stuff.
Doodlebugs, yeah. That was called Doodlebugs.
Doodlebugs. Oh,
I was part of that too. Yeah, that's great. I actually
without these things, we wouldn't have. I mean, again, it just goes on and on and on. So we're fortunate enough to know these things, but as far as the community, they have no clue. They see the products of these people, but they really don't know the origins. And it to me, we're playing multiple degree thing again, but it starts all coming right back to a rather at times humble individual, Mike Wellman.
Yeah, most definitely. Mike likes self-starters. I'm kind of the same way. Like, he'll give you the platform, you just gotta come do it. At the Bug and now at the Basement, you want to make comics? Come on Wednesdays to the Creator Lab. From 7 to 10, it's just all comics. No politics, no anything else, just comics. Come in and learn comics.
Well, he did have a recent addition to his shop that I've not seen in shops before, which was that video game. He has a video game machine in his shop.
The Star Wars game, I love it.
Yeah.
What's that video game about? Or is it just like an old...
It's Star Wars. The original Star Wars arcade game. It's the new version that's like a little smaller, but you can buy for your house. So he has one of those.
Oh, I see.
It looks like the old school arcade game.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
Yeah, but I think, like you're saying, I think it's just a 3/4, so you can fit it in there nice and easy, And I'm like, how many comic shops can you go? And this has always been a dream of mine, to be able to go to a place, because he's in a really neat place of Long Beach, meaning it's very historic. There's beautiful architecture around there.
It's very artsy also. The whole district's artsy.
Right. But I mean, what I was getting at is there's coffee shops, and there's a comic shop, and then there's like a bakery right there. And I've always thought, what better type of place would you want to be at, where you can go ahead and grab a coffee, grab a book, and hang out in one of the 3 shops, you know what I mean, and enjoy, you know, a donut and a coffee and a book.
Right.
That's it. That's a dream, right?
There's a crazy museum next door too. It's I think it's called Dark Arts Emporium. I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
called.
it's like full of satanic art and shit.
Really neat.
Oh,
crazy,
really?
like Geiger art style
Yeah,
art.
I did say
It's really-
satanic.
It's an amazing place.
It's a selling
That's
point.
awesome.
The satanic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I was
A lot more.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go on.
Well, I've just been seeing now that Mike has relocated and he's grabbing new groups and now he's in a new area. I'm seeing new and upcoming talent that I've never seen before. You know, and I think it was kind of good, even though we're not even going to get and talk about any of the reasonings why he left or how his move occurred, I should say. But the positive aspect is the fact that there's a new influx of bodies along with some of the other bodies that have traveled and followed with him, which is a very great thing because now there's a whole new thing to get inspired about, a whole new place, a whole new people, you know, and I think this is going to develop in a lot of great new talent and books, stories, creators, all this.
Yeah, Mike's a Pied Piper. Wherever Mike goes, the creators will follow and come out the woodworks because that's the kind of energy he brings, man. He just brings that positive, like, can do, let's be creative kind of vibe that's attractive to everybody, really.
Yeah, it's really fun. And plus, you know, he had Lawrence on a show one time, and that was fun too. Were you there, Don, for it?
Yeah,
I missed that one. Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring in another body here, and this fine gentleman
Hey, Dylan, what's up?
named
What up, my
Dylan.
peeps? Hey, what up, Christy?
Hey,
Hey,
this
I was
is
reading.
Tony.
Hey, what's up, Tony? Good to meet you, brother. Hey, what up, Doe Walkerin? I try. If I said it wrong,
What's up, Dylan?
No, it's actually Don. Somehow he took the
Okay.
N and threw it on the
Don.
back of his name.
I'm on my
Don Walker.
laptop and I'm a big dork, so how I fucked that up, I have no idea.
Hey, I did
No,
it.
but
I did it
I
once.
like
I did it
what
once or
Chris
twice
said.
too,
That's
man.
his new Star Wars name. We're gonna call him that. He's
There
Joe
we go.
Walker now.
Joe Walker.
Call me Doe at conventions.
I'm almost. Yo, Christy, I was reading that White Savior. I had to go to the DMV today, and so I'm reading it, and he's like, you bitch, I know you. He's like, you're the one that stole my wallet. If you think I'm gonna spend the next day in the DMV getting the new license, you got it. You got me effed up, and I'm sitting in the DMV waiting, and I just start cracking up. I was like, oh my god, just like what a coincidence. I
How
was like,
fucking
yo,
serendipitous
I'm like,
is that?
tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Who the hell wants to be sitting in the DMV? Because I was sitting in there to get a new ID too. So I'm like, just, oh my god, it was so funny.
That is. Oh,
I was
go on, sorry.
I was ordering food when I was reading that same part, and I laughed so hard that the lady looked at me because I was ordering food and I'm reading at the same time, and I laugh in between my order, and the lady looks at me like I'm just a full-on psychopath, you know, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, and I show her what I'm reading, and she's looking at me like I don't care.
Yo, I was cracking up big time. Like I was laughing out loud. I was like looking around to see if anybody was gonna notice because I was just chuckling. Hey, you care if I? You guys keep talking, but I got a couple packages I kind of want to just open on camera. So I was gonna do a stream myself, but I figured I might as well just show them here.
Yeah, I always find like the weird fucking shit that people laugh at. Like, I mean, come on, I was bringing up shit like.
Hey, anytime, Christy. Dude, I always love stuff like that. Anytime. I was like, I had to make sure I got that read because I felt that when you sent it to me, it was New Comic Book Day, so I had a bunch of stuff to read for my video. But yeah, it was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah,
I appreciate the recommendation because I'm getting big into the indies now. Like I'm trying to go full force, so that was really cool.
as I said, read Fuckator. That's a really fucked up book. Like that's just cartoonishly fucked up. Like that's like my humor. So
Yeah.
to segue into this, Tony has to tell about his like really terrible date. Okay. to be honest, he didn't know about it. And earlier, Don, okay, remember how I told you about Hobo Hitler? Because I gave this whole story about Hobo Hitler. Do you remember? Okay, Dylan, you know, this is not white supremacy.
Yeah.
This is just weird. Okay, so the story is that I was earlier telling to Kevin about it, but everybody else probably heard it before. But okay, Don and all the, ooh, cool. That's a
Yeah,
good
my
one.
boy sent it to me.
Nice.
So,
Oh,
It's
that's
bigger than
awesome.
I thought. It's like a trade omnibus.
oh, sorry. So tell them about your horrible date.
Okay, so I live near Fullerton. Downtown Fullerton's got a pretty good nightlife, like bars, restaurants, and stuff in a small area you can walk around. So, you know, go and hang out with friends and stuff. Met this woman, talked a few times, got her number. Finally decided we're gonna go on a date at a little Italian restaurant I really like. So date's going well.
Oh, nice.
All of a sudden, her face turns like a frown, like angry. And I'm looking around like, oh, did I say or do something horribly wrong? Like, what did I do? And she leans in and she goes, what do you think about the Jews? And I
Oh my god.
I look and I realize the people that just sat behind us, the guy had a yarmulke on.
Yeah.
And that seemed to offend her. And I'm like, at first I'm thinking, like, am I being punked or is this some sort of horrible
That's
joke?
what I would think. Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, they're persecuted people. I mean, you know, you have a confusing thing, and I'm going like, what are you talking about? And she was upset that I didn't like agree with her all of a sudden. And she's like, you know, the Holocaust really didn't happen. And
Oh my god.
what the fuck are you talking about? I grew up across the street.
I'm like, are you German?
Survivors. I mean, they were tattooed. I mean, I was like, no. I mean, the Holocaust.
Did your granddad, like his buddies, like liberated a camp? Too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
There's still people
Wow.
with the tattoos.
And I was just like, I ended up getting an argument over it with her. Like, no, you're an idiot for thinking that it didn't happen. And she got really upset with me, and I just told her to leave because I wanted her to control it. And at the end of the night, before she got up and walked out, she says, "You Jew-loving faggot," and then left the restaurant.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
And I was
That's a bullet dodge right there.
yeah, I'm kind
Big
of
bullet.
first date.
That's a huge bullet dodge.
If I started dating this woman, all of a sudden I realized she was an anti-Semite.
I mean, it's like you described it. It's like it's funny now, but in the moment, you're just like,
Oh, it's horrifying in the moment. Yeah.
Really, you're like, this
Oh
is,
yeah, I have no idea how I'd react.
you're like,
I
this
mean,
is,
I would be-
is this really happening?
yeah, like
Yeah.
like, you've heard about people like this. You heard about it.
Yeah.
But it's like when you see it, you're just like, I can't believe you're existing in front of me.
You're like, where are the cameras? Where are the cameras? Come on out. Where are the cameras? Yeah.
Who's flunking? Where are you at, Ashton Kutcher? Where are you at?
That was
Oh my,
one of the weirdest moments I've ever had.
that is crazy.
It's probably worse now. With the Orange Führer in office.
Oh yeah, this was last year.
Oh, so there you go. Yeah.
Oh, cool, Venom.
Oh, nice. What is that?
Nicely done, sir.
Hey,
Nice.
come on,
Come on,
man.
There
there it is.
Hey.
Is that a commission cover or is that an actual printed cover? Oh, damn. All right. That's
No fucking way.
This
How
was,
did you get that?
yo, this amazing lady on Instagram sent it to me. Sent me both.
Oh wow.
So,
Hey, you
Chrissy,
know how great the community is?
It's cool.
Nah, she didn't even try. Like, dude, I don't even believe I've seen her in my YouTube channel. She's she might be more Instagram, and she's like, you want them both? I was like, yeah, maybe I'll use one for a giveaway. But I was thinking in the back of my head, I was like, I got my boy Chris one. I might even have a third one coming, bro, and I'll just use that for a giveaway. So I got mine. I got one for Chris. Because, you know what I'm saying? I never am able to do Comic Karma. I've never been able to send anybody anything. And I was like, finally, man. Like, I've been blessed, man. It's a blessing. Like, I can't I can't even fathom it when people send me stuff. I just
Yeah.
can't even believe that anybody would want to just send me anything, you know?
I
So
mean,
I feel
it's
really
great.
happy that I can actually give back to the community and hook my boy Chris up with this.
Hey,
And
fella.
now I got one for a giveaway. So I'm trying to get a little giveaway together. Dude, I got that Venom book. And not the ones I was showing you yesterday, because I'm actually trying to get that Venom
Why do you have this?
Absolute Carnage Donny Cates variant signed. The guy told me he would do it for 22, and I'm like, send the offer, dude. And he was like, oh, it won't let me. And I'm like, all right, so I don't know what you want me to do. But I was kind of like, maybe I'll wait and I'll just get that $50 book. I don't know which one I should get. What's more important, to finish the collection or just to get a Donny Cates variant?
Get it all. That's what I do. Get it all.
My thoughts exactly.
It's like, get it all, bitch. That's what you got to do.
Seriously. And then I couldn't believe that Venom 3, because that's a white cover, you know. Both of these look pretty good too.
That's why, yeah, the Venom 3. That's why when I sent mine in, after I got mine signed, when I sent mine in, I had that cleaned and pressed because
I
I'm
wanna
hoping for a
get it,
90. So yeah, Kristen,
I
the
want
big deal
I
about
want to like get it signed, but I want to get Donny Cates to do like a remark on it. Maybe even
Well,
Stegman.
that's
I want to get
the
Donny
idea
Cates to do something.
is that you can get this Kate Stegman and Young to do their little remarks on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this Scotty Young variant depicts Ryan Stegman and Donny Cates.
Yeah.
And it was severely under ordered, and it was one of those hidden covers, so you didn't know what it was going to look like until after which it already came out.
Yeah.
So when it landed, everyone wanted one, and I'm one of those gambler people, so I actually ordered it even before I knew what I was going to get. But I only got one cover, and I would love to have the Stegman Kate's signature on there, but oh, look at that, man.
Speaking of the
2-6.
homie.
Yeah, I got my 2-6 package the other day.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I
It
love
said
that
it was
cover.
coming Tuesday, and it came yesterday. It came really quick. It said on the tracker it'd be here Tuesday, and then I look outside and I'm like, wait. I was like, I see his name. I was like, it didn't. It was supposed to be here till Tuesday. I was like, what happened? I'm looking at the package, like it's Chris, like you know what I'm saying, looking at the address, and I opened them. I was like, okay, it came early as hell. So
We were just making some commentary like that looks like parts of Demon Bitch you don't want to see.
this one,
Yeah.
Yeah. God,
Hey,
yeah,
what
I
up,
love
Mike?
that.
My brother, how you doing, man? Hope you're having a good Saturday. I hope everyone in the chat's having a good Saturday.
I'm
Yeah,
dropping
man.
links for everybody right here.
So happy to get this one. So my shop didn't even order this. I couldn't believe he didn't order a Clayton Crane variant. So Chris blessed me.
Yeah,
Dude, he didn't have to do this, you know what I'm saying? He just threw it out there. So I felt, you know what I'm saying, obligated to come through and hook him up because I know Chris is this good big Scotty Young fan. So it really makes me feel good that I could come through and get him one because I know he's a big Venom fan like myself. So I'll just and not even. I mean, the dude has a shit ton of Scotty Young variants. I still could do it. I got a couple packages.
did you know he bought 13 of those Miles Morales second print books? That
Yeah.
13.
There's this
13 of the
Did you watch that stream? I want to check. The viewer gave out a site for his comic shop, and they never overcharge on any book, even if the book is spiking and has a lot of heat going around. And he said that Sam ordered those first Miles Morales sisters for like $1. So I'm about to start checking that site, man. Seriously, because they have them in stock, dude. They'll not even let alone sell it for cover price, even if the book is spiking. They'll sell it for $2 $1. It's like, wow.
Yeah, because what they'll do is they do major orders, and they're not interested on actually trying to make the money on the single book as much as pushing out lots.
Yeah,
you know, it's all about the numbers as far as the amount of books, and not what they charge per foot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's T-Paw, that Things from Another World, and yeah, they have insane books. You know, Don Nguyen actually made threat that he might hop on just for a second because he's also busy. He's going on. So, you know, guys, don't be shocked if you end up seeing Don Nguyen jumping on the stream.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, what up? We got
Many hits. There he is.
we got the double D's in the house.
Black
Actually,
and
the
yellow,
triple
black and
D's.
yellow, black and
We got the
yellow.
triple D's.
Well,
We
like,
got Dylan. We got double Dons in the house. Yo, y'all.
Hello, everybody.
I didn't know we was going Godfather today up in
oh,
here.
it's Don's birthday today. Don,
Hey,
Oh,
happy birthday.
Happy
man.
birthday,
you.
Don.
happy womb
Thank you very
expulsion.
much.
There
Happy
you are.
Wow.
Hope you have a great birthday, brother.
Man. Look at that shirt. Nice shirt.
Thank you.
Hey, so to introduce yourself to the community who may not know who you are, can you please give them exactly one, who you are, two, what
Okay.
you do, and three, why you've been so busy?
Fine gentlemen.
I'm Don Wynn. Most people who might be lurking on my accounts probably know me as Winning It, which is my last name. It's NGUYENINGIT. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under that. And I run a sketch blog by the same moniker. And last year I funded Pablo the Gorilla #1 on Kickstarter. It hit 151% in pledges. We funded it, delivered it. It has a variant cover by two-time Eisner winner Dustin Wynn, who is not related to me but is an awesome friend. And he dropped by an amazing variant cover for the Kickstarter. And I also have a #1 book on Amazon Kindle called Siren Song, done with Andy Nordval. We're the first team to take all 31 of Jake Parker's Inktober prompts. For those of you who know what Inktober is or don't know what Inktober is, Jake Parker, an artist, created it about 6 years ago, I think. And he wanted to improve his skills for the month of October. And every year, thousands of artists participate, trying to kill themselves, making ink drawings every day. And Andy and I were the first team to take all 31 prompts and make a book beginning to end with a cohesive story. And it went #1 in 2019, if I recall. 2018 actually, which was insane.
Yo, that's awesome, brother.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Dude, you know Brett Hess, Kevin? You ever seen him in the chat?
don't.
He's actually an artist. He if you'll see him one day in the chat, bro. He sent me something. He drew this.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
That's sweet.
Drew
I hate to hang this up, bro.
I don't
I'm
know
getting
why, but I'm thinking of
named.
Fairy Tale, like that demented one where that girl is like stuck for 37 years and then like everything's trying to kill her.
I don't know if this is like just something he drew up. He could have maybe had taken something from that. Who knows? Because I know he's he's definitely into comic books and all in the pop culture. But dude, that's beautiful.
That looks
That's-
cool.
I
I
love
can't wait
that.
to bring this, man. My boy hooked me. He's like, it's an art print, so he was really hoping it didn't come damaged. It looks like it maybe got a little crease on the corner, but nothing on like right there. I think this
Oh,
is bigger than like the box, whatever they call these. I forget whatever they call these.
Gemini
Usually,
mailers.
Yeah,
yeah, usually everyone buys the same mailers from the same company, and the company is called Gemini. So everyone just makes
Gemini.
reference to them as Gemini mailers.
wow.
Yeah, I did an upgrade. It was one of my Kickstarter stretch goals to upgrade Gemini packaging to deliver to everybody on the Kickstarter. I imagine, Don, you've already talked about Black Comic Creator Day at Atomic Basement.
Not yet. No, haven't got to
Oh.
yet.
Good thing I opened it up. There's actually he sent me two.
Oh, wow. Look at
Oh
that.
wow!
Yo, he got some
Very
talent. I don't know. He maybe has even worked on comic books before. I could be wrong. Maybe not,
We'll
but
definitely send him our link, especially when we do this Artist Alley thing, man. That way,
I'm gonna
we
be-
can get him
I'm gonna
on
be
here.
showing these off on my channel as well. I just I wanted to show them on here because I've had like 5 boxes sitting in my room, and I can't. I'm not like JB. I cannot let them just sit there. It's like Christmas, bro. I can't let them sit there and not get ripped open.
Oh, we lost Don.
Go.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna be probably leaving soon because I have to go eat lunch and I'm hungry as fuck, and so is Tony.
No,
But I'll throw the
yeah, no, I appreciate you hanging out. I
No, I
really do. You know, I mean, you're an integral part to this show, Christy. So I appreciate you being here.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
always appreciate getting to hang with you, and good to meet you as well, Tony.
Yeah, nice to meet you all.
Hope to
Too.
see more of you next time because Christy's always hanging with us now.
Oh, by the way, also, it's like 5 days left in my Kickstarter, and I know cheap horror plug. But here, Don Wynn and Don Walker.
Plug all you want.
And then Don Walker, they got pinups in it. So you guys got to check that shit out. 5 days.
Definitely go show support, guys. I haven't gotten to read it because I'm not gonna sit here and lie and act like I've read it, but I will be reading it very soon. I flipped through a lot of the artwork, and it's really cool. If you like how Christy is as a woman, as a person, you're gonna love this book because she translated it really well onto paper, man. I love it. Like from what I've just read like a page or two, but I flipped through a lot of the artwork, and it was awesome. Really cool. I like really because it was a lot bigger than I thought. It's actually everything you sent me. That was like 100 pages, wasn't it, Christy?
Yeah, it was 90 some odd pages of bullshit. Yeah.
But so will that be like one issue? Is that one issue? I was gonna say that, dude.
That's like a whole graphic novel. Yeah, because
that's what I was.
70 pages. Now it's like this one. I did a deluxe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a graphic novel, man. That's awesome. That's gonna be so cool when you get that. I hope.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to get a physical. I can't wait to get a physical.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, you guys, it's been good. It's been real. We're gonna go eat sushi and shit. You love the Art and Demon bitch. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Hi, Tony.
Cool.
Bye, you guys.
Yeah.
Guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Tony, take care.
See you guys. Have a good day.
All right, Don, back to you, sir. Now, for again the community who may not know, please explain how they can get a hold of you, how they can get a hold of your stuff, you know, how they can get better familiar with your content.
Don Walker or me?
Don Wynn.
Oh,
and we'll get back to Walker.
You got two Don. My comic is, you can go to pablothegorilla.com and it'll lead you to my my Kickstarter website. And there's a little button where you can click and you can buy it off of Etsy. You can also find it if you're in Los Angeles. The Comic Bug, both locations carry it in Culver City, Manhattan Beach, and Atomic Basement carries it. I gotta tell you, Atomic Basement actually has the best price for the regular cover, but they both have my cover A, which is a cover done by me. They don't have the sketch covers. I'm keeping that as a con exclusive for people who want to pick up original sketches by me as well. And the Dust and Wind variant, each store has one copy of that. But you can find me at WonderCon, upcoming April 10th through the 12th in Anaheim. I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con, WonderCon at table B50, San Diego Comic-Con at HH03. I'm also going to be at Baltimore Con, Rose City, which I've been doing the last 2 years, Fan X Salt Lake City, Heroes Con in North Carolina, and those are all the ones that come to mind right now. But I'm doing 7 or 8 cons this year, and Don and I were next to each other at Long Beach Comic Expo, so that was a really great event as well.
Totally.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't get an opportunity to go to that. I ended up working during that time, but I'm hoping to make it to WonderCon. So I take it, Mr. Walker, you're going to be there also?
I am not. I am taking a break from shows until probably the fall, just to get work done. I want to get more projects finished, and I can't spend the money on shows and pay like inkers and colors to do stuff. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I just got a pinup for Don's book done a little while back. So he's actually gathering. How many pinup artists do you have for Into Wild Bean Ball? Wow.
There are 10 artists. There are 10 artists doing pinups to take up the space for the short story that's not done yet, which is why the book's late. I discussed that earlier. But yeah, Don Wynn's one of those. A couple of sketchy bugs like Sable Nance are going to be in it as well. So.
Mike on did one
Kenny Guku. So
yeah, that's
we got to get all those people on here. We got to get all those people on here.
Now my next
does not know their work, so we got to get them on here.
Definitely. So my next show, if you want to call it that, I do, will be next Saturday, February 22nd, from 12 noon to 5. I'll be at the Black Comic Creator Day, the 4th annual Black Comic Creator Day, which
Yeah.
which Mike Wellman and Atomic Basement are sponsoring. This year we're teaming up with the LBMA downtown, the Long Beach Museum of Art downtown, which is right across the street from Mike's Comic Shop, which is awesome.
That's amazing.
Perfect.
That show will be hosted in their parking lot, outdoors, free admission. So come check out. We have 18 confirmed Black comic creators who'll be there with their
Wow.
books and art and panels and the whole
And
bit
heavy
going on.
hitters.
So what's up?
And heavy hitters too, right? Like Brandon Easton's gonna be
Brad
there.
Easton's going to be there. We've got Chuck Patton. You know Chuck Patton?
Oh, wow.
Chuck Patton has he worked at DC for decades. Created Vibe and Vixen and a bunch of JLA Detroit characters. So
Brandon, he did the new Spider-Man that's on the IDW.
Yes.
For
Yeah,
the
Marvel
community.
Action Spider-Man #1
Yep.
just came out.
Just dropped this
last
week,
and
yeah.
did the signing, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
So, I mean,
He'll be hosting a panel
Yeah,
as well.
Oh, you guys are doing panels?
yeah, these
So Brandon's going to host a panel about breaking the comics as a writer. We have a panel about Black women in comics and their
Wow.
experiences.
Okay.
We have a third one. Who's in the third one? Oh, Black comic creators creating manga.
Nice.
So
Oh,
Johnny
wow.
Parker II and Sable Nance will be on that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, God, it's a great event, and even bigger this year because the LBMA is like super stoked to be a part of it as well for the first time. They've been email blasting on Instagram and Twitter, and
Yeah, I just saw the tweet go out for you guys. So that's pretty incredible.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
They're super pumped to be involved, and we're super excited to have them involved. It should bring out a lot more people. It's always been a good event when we had it in Manhattan Beach, but now we're having it in more of an urban area where we think our target audience is actually more in Long Beach.
The right demographic.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now again, this day is when?
It is next Saturday, the 22nd.
From when to
And,
when?
What's up?
From what time to what time?
Okay, so it's going to be 12 noon to 5 p.m. And then after 5, come back to across the street to Atomic Basement, where we're going to have a little after party and the Black As Fuck podcast. We'll be recording a new show.
I think we might have,
Which
I don't know, we
happened
have
like
kids in the
7 to 10, right?
7 to 10, yes.
Yeah, I did see that. Mike did throw out an invite to me on that.
And remember, everybody,
So, yeah,
out
that
there,
was really interesting.
everyone out there watching this, the event is free to the public. So come on out, show support, come see some new and different material from a diverse group of guys and women. So love to see you guys there.
You know if Mia's going to be there? Is Mia Bung going to be there?
She is.
Wow. Yeah. See, and I'm chomping on the bit for her next issue. She was here last week, on the show. She was driving, so she couldn't actually do anything video wise. We had her on audio, but I've yet to actually hook up with her face to face, and I've actually got I have not received my opportunity to actually see her face on video. So I mean, I'm looking forward at some point seeing an excuse to meet with her. So maybe this is it.
She's awesome. She's a whole lot of fun. Her book, The Fuck, is amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, Atomic Basement has her book in stock. So go check it out there.
Yeah, I've been pitching it as Bebe's Kids meets Showgirl for some of us who are a little bit older and get that reference.
That's actually a great analogy. Baby's Kids, one of my
awesome.
favorite. I'm looking right at the video right now. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, it really reminds me of Robin's Comedy, and he was a great comedian. Rest his soul, and it's just got that a little bit of that snark in there, but it's also really just relatable. And of course, she's doing it on two just real ratchet strippers. It's hilarious.
Yeah. It is. You know, when my daughter was reading it, because I even before I read it, I handed it to my daughter,
Oh,
and I said,
nice.
"You have to read this." And she doesn't read comics, so she said, "All right, I'll read it." She got about, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 panels deep, and was not only laughing, but she finally said, which everyone does, right? Everyone says that says the fuck. I mean, at some point in the book, you're gonna say it. It's just inevitable because
Exactly.
it just. It's, but yeah, I heard her in her room saying it, and it was just awesome.
And once you meet
So
me,
Don,
you realize, like, okay, I get it now.
oh yeah. So
All right,
Mr.
gentlemen, I
Wynn,
have to peace out. Thank you so much for having me on, Kevin. Say hi
Yeah.
to Kai. And I've been
I
trying.
will.
I'm doing this from my phone, so I've been trying to look at the swag behind Dylan's wall there, behind him, and behind Don's.
I know, right?
I know. It's like, oh, you guys got so much stuff. I'm just here with like a bunch of original artwork. Don't mind me.
Man, I just
But,
God,
I hope to
I
see
like
everybody
it.
soon. And I hope to see you guys at WonderCon again. I'm at table B50. Come find me. And I'm
Very
just
cool.
cranking out a bunch of pinups and doing commissions. So just let me know.
Will you be at MegaCon?
No, I won't be at MegaCon. I'm doing San Diego Comic Con at HH03, WonderCon at B50. I'll be at Baltimore Comic Con, Heroes Con in North Carolina, FanX in Salt Lake City, and Rose City Comic Con.
Salt Lake City. Is that in Ohio?
No, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Utah.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to think. I live in Ohio and I still don't know. But no, because I was gonna, maybe I'll try to get to that Baltimore one, because I would definitely, if I see you, I'm definitely getting an art print. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be
I would
really
love
I'm gonna
that.
send the Comic Core. I'm gonna send the Comic Core your way there, Don Wynn, because they hang out in the Baltimore area. So I'll try to send them over, and I'll tell John of John Comics for Kids and all that to go visit you out there. Even though John is a local here in California, and I do know you have to get going. But hey, community, make sure you try to see Don Wynn. If you're local around here, he's around here. And Don, thank you for your time. I appreciate you hanging out with us, and I look forward to seeing you again.
All right. I look forward to being back on. Don Walker, good seeing you. I see that your name is it looks like you have
Yeah, I messed that up.
RPG name going on.
Some glasses or something. I don't know.
No, it's cool, man. That's like your Witcher Baldur's Gate like role playing name. So just go with it. Do Walker.
There you go.
All right, guys, gentlemen, have a great
brother,
day.
take it easy.
Peace out, brother. Happy
Take
birthday.
care.
Yeah, man. How does the N end up on the end? Like, what the heck?
You know what? Like, I'm on my laptop, which I never use, and like, I need new glasses. Apparently, I'm typing my name in too fast. It gets all jacked up. I try to fix it, and fucks up even more. And it's like, I didn't realize it was messed up until they told me. I was like, oh, okay then.
Christy was having a fun time with it. She's like, "Hey, I like that." Yeah, that's all. I'm glad you were able to figure you out there, Don, and you know, get you on here. When you were saying, even Christy and I were like, "Yeah, you know, he's doing this 24-hour like checkout thing," and she's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess they're making sure he's okay, or that the
I
address is fine."
got on this morning to try and load it all up, and it took like 20 minutes to get my code to my phone. So I plugged it all in, and then they go, okay, well, there's a 24-hour wait period. I'm like, well, that's not awesome. Okay.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Christy sent me her link to get on there, so that's why I'm here. Thanks, Christy.
Yeah, well, and I just ended up dropping it in the chat. I was like, screw this, you know, maybe he could just hit it in the chat too. So I was like, maybe this will work.
It all worked out for the better.
Yeah, exactly. So I take it you've been rather busy yourself then, you know, between the events that's been happening at Atomic Basement and what you've been working on presently.
Yeah, so I've got working on the 24-hour. I'm sorry, the Black Comic Creator Day. I'm also one of the editors on the Doomsday Anthology, which is a new anthology that the creator group that I belong to called the Sketchy Bugs. We're all working on that right now. I'm working on the Project Diamond Savage for Mike's lab. he's doing. So I'm on that contest as well. I'm trying to get on that. So it's just, again, that's why I'm not doing too many shows coming up, because I've got so much work to do that when can I do a show, or spend the money on a show.
It's a catch-22 because you want to be busy, but you have to go out there and you have to promote the stuff.
Exactly.
You can't be promoting the stuff if you're so busy. But you know, it's like, wait, how do I, that's when you start going, man, I need more hours in the day. And you're like, but I need more sleep too.
Exactly. And also, too, you don't want to do too many shows with the same stuff. I need more material. So I'm just holding out till like September for Long Beach. I should have at least 2 new projects, if not 3, out by then.
Oh, great.
So I'll have, more to show, more new stuff to show people. So I'm all about the books. I do the work. I don't do fan art really. So like, unless you want a commission, I'll do commissions at shows, but I don't do fan art prints. I do Agent Wild prints. I do books. So it's all about getting the IP out there, getting my name out there, getting Agent Wild out there. So, I have to do material, do work to get more people to come see my stuff. Yeah. It's all a work in progress,
That's the whole reason behind the show, is to try to get artists, creators to jump on here, both local and abroad, and that way we can go ahead and we can give back to the community something that they asked for. And what I mean by that is, we all want decent content. We all have a diversity of content that we enjoy. So what better way to find that diversity or be able to explore things than to be able to invite individuals much like yourself to say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. And if you're interested, because I'm not maybe have the ability to go to a con that's near you. In the case of like, Dylan would be a great example. Maybe you never get out there into Ohio or something. This is the best way that I thought would allow people to connect and one, promote themselves, and two, for the better. The community now has the ability to seek out individuals they've never been able in contact before. They may come to you and find out, where the hell have you been all my life? This is exactly what I've been looking for, but we don't know that until we're exposed to that. And that's the idea behind this.
It's a great platform, and I appreciate you inviting me on. It's as technology has gotten everybody closer together, so internet's huge and it brings everybody together, but at the same time, literally everyone is together. So the pool is much bigger. It's still, while technology helps you find people, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
It's like needle in a haystack now. I appreciate being on. I appreciate what you're doing with this channel. So I just found out about it, so I'm a huge supporter already. So, I'll be sending folks your way, I'm sure.
Yes, please. That's the idea behind this is everyone, tell people that we're looking for individuals that we'll come through and we'll see, who, I'm not saying quote unquote deserves, but I want the community to decide who they do and don't want to see. And we'll bring them to you as often as we can. You guys will end up down the road dictating exactly who you want by just, subbing them up or telling us in the chats that you've been talking to these people. And, not only will we be bringing them more often, but we'll end up trying to create shows, how should I say, aside from this one, featuring them, and we'll do things that, that will, how should I say, promote them even in another diverse way. That's the idea, is we're just trying to keep promoting people. That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I love my buddy. I read that new mask. I pledge allegiance to the mask. And when it first came out, my buddy's like, he's like, you really like the mask? I've always loved it. He's like, I'm ordering the first volume. And I thought it was just like the first trade, like, a couple issues. But dude, it says omnibus. It's not hardcover, but dude, this thing's thick. I'm excited about it.
That was good.
Somebody might have a window open because I feel like I'm hearing an echo.
You might. But hey, guys, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it at this hour and a half session.
Yeah.
And but I will jump on and let's say, I don't know, somewhere between a half hour to 45 minutes. It'll be just a bullshit show, just to hang out and rap about books that we got or whatever we want. But
All right,
I want to
cool.
see if I can throw something down my throat and try to find out where my boy's at. I haven't seen him in a while, and then I'll be back.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Nice to meet you, Dylan.
Nice to
Have
meet
a good
you,
one.
John. Can't wait. I hope to get on another show with you sometime very soon. It was
Most
great meeting you,
definitely.
brother.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace out, guys.
Hey, thank you. From 1-2 Comic Talk, we are out.